This is part two. Alright, so when I left off, I forgot where I left off, but I will tell you that I try the best to treat women how I would want to be treated if I was a female. No. And I mean, like, not like a lesbian, but a normal female who's looking forward to getting married to a dude and getting ready to have a family and living a nice life. And the things that most girls dream of back in my day. Back in the early 90s, before coming out was a thing, or when it was called coming out, or whatever the hell the people in the alphabet squad lived. So my dad and I, we had this big ass fight, and I had asked him, I said, so if I was a girl and I was raped, would you make me carry the baby? And he said, yeah. If you were like 12, 13, or 14 and you were raped, I would make you carry the baby. I said, even if I wasn't like a promiscuous girl, if I was a good girl who just never left the house, I went to school, my education, my grades was up, everything was great, and all of a sudden one bad night happens and some asshole decides he's gonna rape me because he thinks I look cute or hot, or I just happen to be the right chick at the wrong place at the right motherfucking time, and I was an opportunity crime. And my dad still didn't really grasp that concept of how bad this was. I was like, Dad, if I'm 12 years old and I get raped by a 44-year-old man, that's kind of fucked up. And he wasn't really weighing who had raped me. He was weighing in, you're pregnant and you're gonna have this baby because that's my religion. And I said, okay, hold on. If I'm your daughter and I'm 12 years old, I have no need to have a baby. Why in the hell would you make me carry this baby? Say, I don't care if you're 12, 13, or 10, you're gonna have the baby. I said, you understand it. I'm the victim in this, right? Then he thought about that shit. And when he thought about that shit, it took him a hot minute, but he caught on quick. He's like, alright, let me get this straight. So, how would you handle it if it was one of your kids? I said, oh, we going straight to the fucking abortion clinic. I said, without motherfucking question. She's not carrying this guy's baby. I said, not on my watch. And if that was God's plan, well, me and God have a fight about that later, because my daughter is not going to be the victim of rape and then be the victim of society where she's fucked if she do and she's fucked if she don't. She's fucked because she got fucked, and now the society wants her to carry the baby of a rapist, and she might have only been 10, 11, 12 years old, because people are raping young kids. They're raping fucking kids. And if we as a government, as a society, are forcing 10 and 12, yes, there have been girls, in case y'all don't know, go Google that shit. There have been girls as young as 9 that have given birth to grown-ass men's babies, and in third world countries and in America too, because they were victims of fucking rape. So if you're not with me on the woman's right to choose, shame on you. Because it's the same thing that happened here in Virginia. How, like, anybody from any other state could drive down 64 at 115 miles an hour and we'd have to pay for it. But we who live in Virginia, if we got caught going over 80 miles an hour, we got 2 tickets. 1 ticket for speeding, and then we had to pay the extra fine for the asshole that drove through at 115 miles an hour because they were not Virginia citizens. And that shit was working just fine until the assholes that wrote that law, kids, were the ones that started getting busted. Next thing you know, was petitions all over the place, which is why that law got changed. So, when you people who support a rapist having raped a girl and getting her pregnant and making her have a baby, what are you going to do when it's your daughter? What are you going to do when it's your granddaughter, who just happened to be a very nice girl, just skipping down the street? Let's say she's 10. She's a 10-year-old girl. She's not developed. She's looking all pretty in her little Sailor Moon outfit, just skipping down the street. And some little asshole come along, snatch her up, throw her in a fucking van, rapes the shit out of her, throws her back out. Doesn't kill her, which would have probably been a much better fate. Gets her pregnant. And now you and your over-religious ass wants to make a 10-year-old who has no business carrying a baby, has no business getting raped by any dumb-ass adult in the first place. Because, kids don't rape each other unless we teach them that dumb shit, just like when we teach them racism. They don't go around doing that shit. They're into selfies and video games and shit. They're not into rape and all that bullshit. That's some shit that we teach their ass. But if you don't teach the kids that shit, they won't be doing this. The same thing if you don't raise a racist, he won't be a racist. But you know, you get to a little girl, she's just riding on a little bicycle, riding a scooter, doing little girly things, and some asshole pulls up, snatches her up, rapes her, and gets her pregnant, and throws her right back out. She tells you about it, and now you're gonna make her carry the baby. My dad and I fought about this shit a lot until he finally, you know, I was like, all right, Dad. But see, if I was a girl and you made me carry this baby to term, I promise you, we wouldn't have no communication. The baby's going for adoption because there's no fucking way in hell I'm keeping it. Yeah, and my dad's like, well, why would you give it up? I said, I am 12 years old. Why would I fucking need a baby at 12 years old? Yeah, little girls play with dogs. It's maternal. It's something that we teach little girls to do. It's not something that when most kids pick up a toy, whatever toy they pick it up, it was because it was intriguing. It wasn't because it's like, okay, well, I want to pick up a doll baby. I picked up a doll baby as a boy. It doesn't mean anything. It's a toy. You know? I have a fuck ton of stuffed animals. I'm a straight man. Alright? This is my favorite. One of my favorites. I got Alf, I got Pt2. Y'all seen them in the videos. Don't mean nothing. It's what I like to do. My favorite's in the shed where he's safe from everybody else trying to steal him like they're trying to steal my panda. Whose ass is on frame. Whose ass is still on frame. Whose ass is still on frame. Anyway, point being made, you know, a lot of these people in Congress and all your state senators and all this shit is somehow signing these bills. No abortion, no abortion. Let's make it illegal. And the second that one of their kids get raped and get pregnant by a rapist, the first thing they want to do is change the law. But here's a tip. Don't write that shit into law in the first damn place. Because the woman's right to choose is the most important right that a woman has. She gets to choose who she's going to consensually have sex with. She gets to choose what she's going to do with her body. Not some asshole in the street that's jumping around wearing a big fucking black mask or any kind of mask and just snatching women off the street and raping the fuck out of them. And the reason why this hits me so hard is because I was once accused of being the Charlottesville serial rapist. And granted, he was 6'4" and I'm 5'3", but his skin was darker than me. And then there was the Jesse Matthews thing. But again, you know, rape is probably the worst crime known to me. I would murder someone before I would rape them. Just putting that out there. If I'm gonna go to jail, it's gonna be for murder. It ain't gonna be for rape. You know. But the thing is, the woman's right to choose is why I'm making this video. It's my father and I, we went back and forth with this shit for like 3 hours. And then it finally dawned on me that I was right. Because I had to, okay, what if I was your daughter? It happened to me. And we went through this before. But see, would you rather have your daughter? Or would you have no communication with your daughter because you chose to make your daughter carry a fucking baby of a fucking rapist? And your daughter is now dealing with some shit that no woman should ever have to deal with. And she has to deal with that for the rest of her life because she has to keep living until God says she can't. Or until someone takes her life. Or she just has to take her own life from the depression she has because your dumb ass decided, hey, you got raped. Should have been more careful. Hey, shouldn't have been wearing that dress. Hey, you should have been wearing that bra. Hey, let's go back and rewind for a second. Because one, if a woman likes to wear a dress, it can be this short or it can be that long. She has the choice to do that. If a woman wants to wear a push-up bra with spikes on it, I want to see that. But if she wants to wear that, I don't have the right to tell her that she can't. And neither do any of you. And that includes females. But just because a woman is wearing something provocative does not give anyone the right to take her body. In other words, it does not give any deranged lunatic the right to go and rape her. I go to cosplay. Chicks wear some sexy ass shit. Mind you, 20% of those chicks in cosplay ain't even 18. But they look like they're 18. But I'm not going to be that deranged lunatic in one of my Scarlet Spider suits and say, hey, I'm going to go have sex with this kid. She looks 18. No. I'm here to have fun. Now, if I happen to have met my crush there and she consensually had sex with me, that would be great because it would be consensual and she's well over 18. Alright? But for these young girls that are dressing like the superheroes and all that, us grown-ass men in cosplay, you gotta know. It doesn't hurt to ask. No, but You still have to understand that we're in a fantasy gathering. 20% of the girls in there are 21. That other 80%, those chicks are 16, 14, 12, etc., and you ain't got no business going nowhere near them. And they do look hot. I ain't gonna lie. I took pictures with some hot chicks that probably were like way past the age of consent in the opposite direction. Girls are probably like 13, 14. Got bodies like grown ass women. But you can tell how a mature girl carries herself versus an immature girl. Alright? And if you can't, I'm not going to blame you because sometimes I can't. And sometimes looks are deceiving, which is why you have to keep your shit in check. We go to cosplay to have fun. We don't go to cosplay to molest children. But if your daughter's rocking a Sailor Moon suit from cosplay and somebody decides to snatch her up and rape her, that's not her fault. She wore the Sailor Moon costume because she wanted to be Sailor Moon for that day. But some asshole decides, I want to have sex with Sailor Moon, even though Sailor Moon's 12 years old. No. This is the shit that I had to convince my dad, which is wrong. Because when a woman gets raped, she doesn't get a choice. She can say no all she wants. But if he has a gun to her head, he has a knife to her throat, she's going to get raped. Period. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it, but she does not have to carry that fucker's baby. Period. Which is why I said if I ever had a daughter, and anybody ever raped her or anything like that, you better call in every fucking body that I know from here. You better call in every fucking Marine that I know. You better call in every Air Force and every Coast Guard and Navy motherfucker I know, because you're going to need each and every one of them to keep me from killing whoever raped my daughter. Luckily for me, God has not blessed me with a daughter or any children at all. But at the same time, if you are a girl dad, you got to be behind me on this. You cannot let your daughter carry the body of a rapist seed into term. It's not fair to your daughter. And God and you just got to be in that line with me fighting about why we did that shit. Yeah, that rape baby could have been the cure for cancer. No, fuck that. My daughter was more important than the cure for cancer. Let somebody else cure cancer, not a rape baby that comes out of my child. And that goes the same with date rape and you dumb some bitches that's using GHB on girls and shit. Man, spit your game. And if you like me, you ain't got no game, your time will come. Just be patient. You will find a girl that will consent to you. Do not force that shit. I'm not the prettiest man on earth. I've had some sex before. You know, it is what it is. You're either going to get it or you ain't. It ain't the end of the world if you don't get it. It ain't the end of the world if you do. But you want to get the shit with the woman consensually. You don't want to be like Pepe Le Pew and try to take the pussy, because that shit's going to get your ass in jail. And worse than that, you can't undo that damage. You can't. So, I'm going to put it to you straight. The woman's right to choose. It's the only way to go. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. BC and you.